President Trump just made Trey Gowdy the most powerful man on Capitol Hill. For 5 years, Trey Gowdy asked the Oval Office for the tools necessary to do his job properly, and for 5 years he was told no by the Obama administration. One of the most difficult parts of Trey Gowdy's job as congressional inquisitor is security clearance. When investigating people who held titles like Secretary of State and Special Aide to the President, or even President, Gowdy runs into the issue of security clearance all the time. It's a matter of national security has become a term Mr. Gowdy hears far too often. It is the single best excuse Hillary Clinton and her lawyers have been able to come up with when they don't have an actual answer to his questions. President Trump has just removed that blockade by executive order. Trey Gowdy has been given the highest security clearance possible. He could now sit in on presidential intel briefings if he felt he needed to. The first thing Gowdy did with his newfound ability to investigate is to reopen the Benghazi case. There was a 6-hour window that Clinton never answered for because she said she was in a meeting with the president and Joint Chiefs that were highly classified. Gowdy will begin his investigation by revisiting those discussions and finding out exactly why 4 men were left to die. Next, with his newfound freedom of information, he'll look into just how far Obama went when he sent weapons and cash to the Muslim Brotherhood after they took Egypt by force. Nothing about this wonderful new power is going to be good for Obama, Clinton, or any other Democrat that thinks they're above the law. Very good. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Ingram Angle Special Gratitude in the Age of Trump. And for better and sometimes for worse, let's face it, talking politics at the Thanksgiving table is practically as much of a tradition as the turkey and the pumpkin pie, the mashed potatoes, the gravy. But it's giving many of us some serious heartburn because according to a new poll from NPR and Marist, 58% of Americans say they are positively dreading the prospect of discussing politics during Thanksgiving. That's up 5 points from last year during the aftermath of the election. And 31% say they're eager to do so tomorrow, but that's a 12-point plunge from last year. Joining us now to analyze 2 of my favorite people, not just favorite colleagues, but favorite people here at Fox. Shannon Bream, of course, the anchor of the brand new 11 p.m. show on Fox, and Bret Baier, who is wisely already in the balmy weather of Naples, Florida. Bret, I'm so jealous here in Naples already. And I'm sitting in your chair, Bret. I feel nice. Inadequate sitting in this chair because this is your chair, really, but I'm just keeping it warm till you come back. It's great to see both of you. All right, Bret, I want to start with you. Now, Trump is controversial. The divide in the country seems like it's worse than it's been ever before, but I don't know if that's even the case. How do you avoid this maelstrom at the table? What do you do?
Well, I think it's a good question because I think you have to be prepared at the beginning. You have to go in and say you have other topics to talk about, entertainment, sports, the kids, other things. I say stay away from LeVar Ball, The Wall, Roy Moore at all. I think those 3 things that rhyme, you just stay away from them. But if it goes south, get to the place where you listen more than you get heated. You listen. And then you react calmly. And
maybe, Bret, when you're listening, you just chew, and you make sure you have a big mouthful of food, and you're just chewing and nodding. You know, it's like you have a lot of fights with family fights about other subjects. And Shannon, when sometimes husbands will say, "I'll just say yes, dear, yes, dear." They don't go back. They don't go back. But it is a little thorny because, like a lot of families I know, and certainly in my family, we have some polar opposite views in my family. Like some of my brothers are different politically than I am, and We just don't talk about it. We talk about anything but. You know, want to play a game of tic-tac-toe.
Right.
You know, it's uncomfortable.
Listen, I'll be with the in-laws this year, the Breams, and they do like to talk politics. There are a lot of Fox watchers in there. So
thank God. Lucky you.
Listen, I know, exactly. But the tricky thing is they want to talk shop the whole time. And you know when you're away from work, you want to take it easy, play the tic-tac-toe, stuff your face with stuffing. But they have a lot of questions. And I find that what I end up doing is separating a lot of fact from fiction, because they'll hear a story or see something on Facebook, and I'm sort of now deputized as the fake news buster during these Thanksgiving meals and get-togethers, because they want to know what's actually been said or not said. I think one of the good strategies, I like Brett's, but I think also something I read that made sense to me, instead of talking about personalities like President Trump, like, you know, Hillary Clinton, whoever, if you talk ideas or policies, that seems to work better for a lot of families instead of getting into the personalities, which seems to immediately put people on one side or the other.
Now, Brett, when you're down in Florida, Naples has there are a lot of Fox fans in Naples, let's face it. It's it's a wonderful place. They love you down there. But it is true what Shannon said. When you want to get away, I know you're a big golfer, you're a big athlete, you want to be with your kids, your beautiful sons and wife, but you want to kind of get away, but you are pulled back into it, right? You just think you're on the golf course, 7th hole, got that perfect tee shot, and then you're, well, what do you think about this, Brett? And what do you do?
It happens all the time. I know it happens to you guys, too. I mean, I was at the grocery store the other day. Somebody stopped and talked to me about tax reform. And, you know, I would say, how's the pineapple? So I think that, listen, when you're talking politics, I do think Shannon's right. To do broad topics and start with the ones that you know a lot of the different ideologies agree on. Let's say corporate taxes, killing ISIS, figuring out a situation in North Korea. Those are 3 good ones where most left and right kind of agree.
Now, I want to ask both of you your favorite Thanksgiving memories growing up. And I was saying this on the radio earlier today that, you know, it's never about stuff or presents. For me, it's always about food, music that my mother used to play. She's Polish, so she always played in this little record player we had. She played Polish Christmas carols, and I kind of rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh, God, can't we hear something else? But now I get teared up when I hear some of that music today. And it's the smells of Thanksgiving and just being together. Brett, what's one of your favorite memories of growing up, Thanksgiving, just being with the family?
So 2 things. One is my mom grew up having turnips, and I can't stand turnips.
The worst.
But every year we just made them, and they just sat there, and it was just my mom who ate them. But it was part of the tradition. And then the wishbone at the end, pulling it apart, and which person got the bigger part of the bone was got the wish to come true, and I remember that every year.
Shannon?
You know what? I think that Brett's mom should join the Breams because they like turnips also.
What is
That's an acquired
turnip?
Taste. I don't know what the deal is, but they like it too.
They have no taste.
I know, but
bitter.
Heavily salted. You try to drown the actual turnip taste. I don't know. They have the taste. I don't. I will say my dad loved frying turkeys. So, you know, you get the vat of the bubbling hot oil, and they do the demonstrations every year, like, don't do this, you'll burn down your whole house and kill everybody.
Yeah.
My dad loved the danger of making the turkey that way. So I always think about that. He also liked fireworks and blowing stuff up and everything. So I think the fried turkey was just part of it.
Now, Brett, do you cook the turkey, or you go out to dinner? You get someone else?
We have officially gone to the going out and having somebody else do the dishes. But I do miss the cooking thing that, you know, everybody stands around and cooks. But we have not done it for a number of years.
Well, I think the what I like to hear about is like the brining. People calling in today about we do turkey over an open spit where they're like really rotating the turkey. I mean, this turns into like a virtual Olympic sport at this point. You know, it's an
all-day project.
It's fun. Most thankful for this time of year?
You know, honestly, I'm a person of faith, and even through some tough times this year, just that I think God is good.
Yeah, God is good. Brett?
Yeah, I think health and the big guy upstairs looking down on us all, and no matter how bad you think things are going to be, we are all resilient, and we should be thankful for that.
And ask for help. Ask for God's help. That's what I do every day. Lord knows I can't do it by myself. But I'm grateful for both of you. Thank you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families, and thanks for everything you do to keep the Fox viewers informed and sometimes entertained. Let's face it, we can be very funny when we want to be.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Brett, happy Thanksgiving.